Hi folks, this is Jay. We are visiting a garden on Garden Walk Buffalo. So this is Julia and Tony's garden. We are with the gardener Julia here. Say a quick hi.
Hello.
Yeah, so can we join you on a walk in your garden?
Sure.
Yeah, so the first thing I'm sure everyone noticed when they enter your garden is the Sofia. Now tell us a little bit about this Sofia.
Well, I built this sphere because I was looking for a unique structure that could be used as another, an outdoor room, but I didn't want to do anything boring because I wanted something sculptural to look at.
This is really original and very creative. So this is essentially a deck. Would you see a
Correct.
deck? Yeah.
Yep. There's a deck inside with 6 chairs, and we entertain out here, and it's a nice little hangout space.
Exactly. Yeah. And
you're welcome to go in it if you like.
Yeah, let's take a look inside because not everyone can have this opportunity. Yeah.
Just watch your head.
Mm-hmm. So now we are inside the Sofia, and so we have this structure surrounding this area, but it just gives you a sense of protection. You're sheltered, and this just makes the space very, very cozy.
Yes.
Yeah, even though we're not far away from the other surrounding building, but with this bit of a barrier, it makes you feel very different. Yeah. And you have the view of the garden from the other end, which is really, really lovely.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I actually built this structure 5 years ago, and the goal was to have it finished in time for a 50th birthday party for my husband.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, this possibly is the best birthday present anyone can ask for.
He wasn't quite sure what I was doing out here, but...
Yeah. So you did actual work?
Oh yeah, I built it myself, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. So let's exit the Sofia, because right next to the Sofia there's something quite interesting, and honestly I think quite inspiring could be inspiring to other gardeners. So right behind the Sofia we have this green wall providing as a backdrop for the Sofia, just make it really pop out. So this is actually the wall of a structure that outside your property. So it's another building, and so it's just a typical off-white wall, but you...
Right. I planted some ivy here about 20 years ago, and it slowly made its way all the way up the wall. So it's a nice green backdrop now, which is home for lots of birds in the springtime.
Yes, yes. Birds love to nest or take shelter in the vine, and so you make something some people might consider as an eyesore. You turn something into your advantage, and they become part of your garden.
Exactly.
This is just lovely. And because of the scale of the wall, it's in the right scale to the Sofia. So it just brings everything together. They're in the right scale to each other, and just make the thing look, how do I describe it? It's a little surreal.
Yeah.
When you enter a backyard, you wouldn't expect to see a Sofia, a deck in a Sofia, and then a huge green wall of ivy.
Well, part of the nice thing about this sphere, and even the wall, is that it's still sculptural in winter.
Oh yes, definitely.
And so I have this to look at in the winter, even with the Boxwoods as well.
Oh yeah.
It's a very sculptural winter garden, which in Buffalo, if you don't have anything to look in the winter, it's not as exciting.
Yeah. So now we are looking at this area. So you call it Boxwood Knox garden.
Yeah, it's a knot garden, a Boxwood knot garden.
Knot garden.
If you looked at it from the top, you'd see that it's a Celtic knot.
Let me try. Yeah.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Where the one row of boxwoods goes over and then under and then over and then under, and it winds its way around the
I
4
see.
sections
Yes,
there.
yes.
And this is about 18 years in the making as well.
18
to
years
this
in the
size.
making,
Yeah.
I see.
I put them in when they were, little mini boxwoods.
Yeah.
Actually, this whole boxwood garden we built with the pathways. Now it's getting a little tight through the pathways, but now when we built it, the pathways were built wide enough for our kids to drive their Power Wheels.
Oh, wow.
You know, the little.
So it's also like a maze for the
Exactly.
kids.
Well, it was something that they could use as a little
Yeah.
driving course.
Yeah.
So if you see how it goes under and then over and then under and then over and then
oh, this
under
is the
and then
knot
over.
area.
Yes.
Yes. So this does take a commitment on the pruning
It takes
side.
pruning once a year. Yeah, and normally I do it in the early spring, but we had done it late in the fall, and so I just let it go. It's a little long right now.
Yes.
But I will be trimming it in the fall.
Yeah, I mean, we all know boxwood, and you see boxwood everywhere. But even just using just 1 or 2 species of plant, you can create something
Exactly.
spectacular.
Right.
Yeah. So it's all about the.
And shaping any boxwood into a sphere, it always looks cool.
Yeah, and I consider this kind of a therapeutic.
Yeah.
So when I'm feeling a little down, I try to clip my boxwood. So it gives you a sense of control.
Yeah.
You are in control, at least for the boxwood.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it just make me feel so much better instantly.
Right, right.
Yeah. And so let's walk towards the other area of the garden. And one thing I noticed in Julia and Tony's garden is we have a lot of green, but we have a splash of color. For example, the container here, we have something red and pink in the center with the chartreuse golden creeping Jenny. So I see this color palette or combination repeat throughout Julia and Tony's garden. Which I believe is by design. So you really do enjoy seeing this color combination, and use them at different spots in the garden. There are slight variation, but it's the same color palette. It really pop out as a standalone container. But what's valuable is if you repeat them throughout the garden, they just bring different area of your garden together. You have the same going through the garden.
Yeah. This area here is very difficult to keep anything, keep flowers or annuals.
Because of the maple, right?
Yes, because it's
maple.
all shade and the soil is filled with tree roots. So it doesn't lend itself to rich soil here.
Yeah, so the solution you have is use container and put those shade-loving annual in it, which just add a splash of color. So can we take a look at this container? You have the same color palette. You have the impatiens in the purplish pink color, and also
the lime green.
The lime green of the coleus, and also the lime green of chartreuse of the creeping Jenny. And you putting another coleus which echoes both the chartreuse and the pink on it. Yeah, so this kind of this is just so eye-pleasing. I just really love this combination. Even though the sun starts to set, this color just literally glowing in front of your eye. It's so pleasant.
I do love that lime green. I try to use that everywhere I can.
Yeah. So, so we're now walking towards the side yard, and we have something really, really nice here. So this is possibly the nicest looking vegetable garden I have seen for a very, very long time. Yeah, everything is so neat and so beautiful. I mean, for have been growing vegetables, you know they are hard to contain. Yeah.
Yes,
so you have the vine, you have the tomato vine, you have the squash vine. They just tends to take over.
Yeah, and the mint. The mint always takes over too.
Yeah. But what's your secret for making them looking so good?
Well, I think if the,
You
the
have the
secret
structure.
the secret is the hardscape, is the boxes and the paver
paver.
stones that we had arranged this with years ago, and it just provides enough structure with the trellises down the center that
Yeah.
it keeps everything looking organized, even when it starts to get out of control.
Yeah. Oh, since you mentioned the trellis, now I can tell the trellis, they also provide structure in the garden.
Absolutely.
I mean, some of the vegetable plants, they may climb out, or they may not, but the trellis standing here in its position, just so your eye has a place to place your eye on the trellis and just make the overall look of the garden very pleasing. Yeah, I can smell the mint. It's very refreshing. Yeah. So again, we are at Julia and Tony's garden. It's featured on Garden Walk Buffalo. And this is a very, very interesting garden. Not only you have the interesting structure, you also have the Boxwood North garden as well as the vegetable garden. Yeah, thank you, Julia, for sharing your garden with
Oh,
us.
you're welcome. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you.